Hello and welcome to Adobe Live XD version. I'm here with Mustafa, and we're not a stranger to the show either. And actually, we're not strangers either.
Yeah, we
know each other
for like 5 years. Yeah.
So thank you for being here and welcome to the chat. If you're not logged in, please do. Sam Anderson is always here in our hearts.
Sam is the best.
Tim, wonderful moderator. We have Andres, Voodoo Val always coming in to check in. Eric Sue. These are some like familiar names that we love seeing. We love to see some new people. So if you haven't ever logged in to the chat, you just go ahead and do that into your Behance account, and then that way you can chat with us and ask us questions. Because I think part of the big reason why we do this is so you can engage with us to ask questions, whether it's about like career questions or why we don't have stickers on our laptops, where dark mode is.
Yeah.
We'll just say dark mode's not here. But random questions is fine. So log in and do that. We also have the chat and win for later on. But today, what do we do here? We had a lot. Actually, Voodoo Val contributed to the Photoshop Creative Challenge, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And if you haven't logged into Discord, please do, because she has some really cool stuff there. Natalia, we had our Creative Challenge with Sam, and now us. And what are we designing today?
Today we're doing a pretty interesting concept where we're going to design an app that facilitates white elephant gift giving.
So white elephant is, I feel like, something that might not be understood by everybody. They might have different names for it.
Yeah.
So do you want to briefly describe what your version of white elephant is?
Yeah, I also have a slide that details
Okay,
what it is, but I could just briefly share that white elephant is sort of like a gift exchange where people bring gifts. They're not supposed to be like extravagant gifts, but people bring gifts as a group, and everyone is able to choose a gift, and people can also steal gifts. So it's a pretty fun thing.
I think the idea of being able to take the gifts and like, you know, maybe that unwrapped gift might be like the best gift, but you'll never know. I think like that is like the funnest part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but before we get into that, I just wanted to just do a really quick just intro into the creative challenge for today and the past few days. That Sam has been doing this like really cool like choose your own adventure style of like ideation, which is I think really cool. So usability was the first. We had simplify and then hierarchy. Hierarchy was our creative challenge today. So if you have designs, go ahead and submit those in, and we'll review them. And if you want them if you want to see your designs reviewed tomorrow, just keep doing it too. So we just want to see your stuff in there. That way we can review it for you. And that's what we're gonna do together in like about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then if you are interested in more feedback, go to the Discord channel, which is in the challenge tab, and you can see the newest contributions. This was Voodoo Val's from earlier today, which is amazing. All right, so basically we're now to the point where we're gonna walk you through today's and tomorrow's challenge for us.
Yeah, this should be fun. Just to reiterate, I'm Mustafa. I'm a product designer based here in San Francisco. Like we shared, knew Julian before the stream, so it's super exciting to be on the show with him today.
Eric Sue got a 1080p TV today and has white elephant.
Whoa!
I mean,
we need details on what group.
I want to be in that
together.
group. I do, and also like. You can get TVs for like nothing these days.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Just another side topic. TVs are way too cheap.
Eric, we need the story on that gift. So hopefully today we want to do an overview of the project, do some live problem solving so you'll get an insight into how Julian and I think, and then create some initial wireframes for the application. And then tomorrow, want to go into the application of the styles to the wireframes, create some higher resolution mock-ups, and then possibly some interactions to go alongside the mock-up.
Yeah, this is going to be a highly collaborative version of Adobe Live.
Yeah, so stick with this.
Yeah.
And so sort of the case study or what we plan to do is designing a white elephant mobile app using plugins. And then again, it's a party game. People are coming together, bringing gifts. It's pretty entertaining. I don't know. Do you have any stories? I've only been to one White Elephant gift giving.
Wait, and it was a live thing. Like you guys were all together.
Yeah, we were all together in a room.
So yeah, my family has been doing White Elephant for like as long as I can remember.
Oh wow.
Because we're just too big where you can't buy gifts for everybody. So it's a good solution for everybody to get a gift, but not buy one for everybody.
Yeah.
So what we have a problem with every year is introducing the rules. So like the loudest voice in my family would have to like get up on like a soapbox and scream like, these are the rules for the White Elephant. It's like, we don't know. And it's always contested. It's like, are there one steal? Are there two steals? What constitutes a steal? Like what constitutes like changing hands? And I feel like for me, I always sacrifice and get like a pretty weird gift. Or sometimes I get the gift I got myself. Which is a rule that like you could determine, right? Can you steal your own gift? Because that's something that is really heavily debated in my family. So that's just my story. Is the rules seem to be very, very important to your White Elephant gift giving.
Yeah, so we'll have to establish that for this application.
And I like the idea of non-practical.
Non-practical gifts?
I like that. Because I think that's kind of like why you shouldn't steal your own gift, because like I buy like something that I want and then I steal it because it's usually something that I want already.
Yeah. But
like the idea of not knowing or not really like needing what you're gonna get, but enjoying it. Does that make sense?
So like finding joy in the unexpected?
Yes.
Okay.
That's deep.
You said it. So is it usually a holiday thing when it comes to your family in terms
always.
of? Okay.
Yeah, it always happens on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
It's like part of the gift opening, and then like all the kids get to open their gifts after the adults like argue and get mad for an hour.
Okay. So before we go into like a deep dive of what Julian and I are going to be solving in terms of the rules for this application and just other UI considerations, I want to do like a brief overview of sort of generic problem-solving methods in the user experience process. So these overarching themes of knowing your user, so being able to really empathize with who you're designing for, because it's important that you create a solution that is addressing a problem or need. Reframing the problem helps us as designers consider options that may have not been apparent on first glance or first encounter. And then the third is trying to break it. So you have an assumption, you have a hypothesis, maybe that can be shattered by some other way of thinking, and then you develop an entirely new, innovative approach. So those are sort of some things that I keep in mind or try to keep in mind when I'm going through UX problems. Do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all like use like different variations for like what we see for each project we might be on.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a baseline, the idea to like be able to like empathize with your target audience, with AKA users. Yeah, like I think personas and journey maps are probably like my favorite ones to go with, even though like I find personas kind of weird in themselves, but they are very helpful to put a picture to a group of people that are experiencing a problem.
Yeah.
Right? And like interviews and like being able to like do that research to like synthesize some sort of like problem statement is like super important to like know what you're actually dealing with. And so yeah, I also just really like that you brought this to the table just as a refresher, because this stuff, it gets really complicated. And even if we're doing something like a gift giving White Elephant app, like there's a lot to unpack with that, even if it's just a simple experience. We're gonna try to make it as simple as possible for you, but definitely like there's like a baseline of everything is kind of complicated.
Yeah.
So
Whenever you deal with humans,
Yeah.
expect complications.
yeah, and Anthony, welcome to the chat. If you haven't logged into the chat, everybody watching, please do so you
Yeah.
can chat with us because we're gonna have a chat and win soon. And when that time comes, I'll let you know and I'll ask you something and you'll answer with your chat fingers and then hopefully win. So you have to be logged in to get that though.
Yeah, I did some initial concepting around what the application might need to function, and that came out into some screens. So having a screen where a user signs up, of course, and then I was thinking when they're after they do sort of their email sign up, then they add information about themselves. So when they join the group, people will know, who they're interacting with. Then confirming their phone number, that way, for verification. And then contributing money, entering their bank information as a way to facilitate that gifts purchasing or contributing to the group. I think we can still figure out how that's gonna function.
You could kind of gloss over a little bit, but
Yeah.
show you some possibilities. Like maybe you can link your Venmo that's
Yeah.
already been verified, or maybe you can link your Apple Pay,
Right.
things like that.
Yeah.
Give 2 options and call it a day. PayPal, even.
Yeah.
PayPal's a little bit more universal.
Yeah. Enabling location, so maybe the gifts are based to geographic locations, so everyone has to be in a specific area to participate. And then finally they get into the group, so some sort of welcome screen for the specific group that they're entering. And then I was thinking we could call it a pre-gift drop, where they're waiting for their opportunity to take a gift or steal someone else's gift. And then post-gift drop is once the white elephant gift exchange has begun and people are starting to pull gifts and swap. Then choosing the specific gifts, then group reentry once they have selected a gift, and then the session will end once everyone has selected. There are no more swaps available, because I think, like you mentioned before, there's either 1 or 2 opportunities to steal a gift before that gift is unavailable for stealing. And then they can review their gifts once the session has ended, and then review their shipping information so they can receive the gift at the correct address, and then end the group.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty much it, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it sounds easy.
Something else might pop up, but I think this is general outline of what we're gonna hopefully create.
And there's a question from Richard. Is there a name for this?
No, so that's something that we're gonna create.
You're going to help
today,
us.
yeah.
Richard and Voodoo Val, Jasmine, Sam.
Sam.
Everybody in the chat.
Everybody
I
in
mean,
the
if you're
chat.
interested in contributing to a name for this, we have some ideas. I have a couple, and Mustafa does too. So we'll post them and or share them, and you can get your answers. The other thing that we wanted to make mention for this concept is how to bring an experience that happens in real life into a digital environment, which is really looking at the metaphor of an act and trying to capture as most of that as we can into this experience to make it feel like you're still there, because this is remote giving, right?
Yeah.
Remote gift giving is I have family all over the country now, and I'm sure you do too. You're originally from, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Alabama.
So most of your family is still there, or are they kind of spread around too?
They're spread around too. I have family here. I have family in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
Alabama. So definitely spread around the country.
Right. And you'd like to be engaged with them in a way that feels genuine, authentic, and fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes we use technology for that.
Yeah, especially around this time of
Right.
year. I think this would be a really cool application to share with the family.
So the idea is to simulate intimacy,
Yeah.
the intimacy of family and friends.
Yeah.
And something that is a really great, fun experience. So simulate the fun experience of gift giving.
Okay.
Yeah. So metaphor, using the metaphor for. I know we have some really cool ideas. I can't. I really can't wait to share.
So some of the, as a continuation of that, some of the desired functionality we want people to be able to share messages with each other. So just like you can do in a live white elephant exchange, you can talk to people. We also want people to be able to talk digitally.
Yeah.
And then being able to see the group activity, like when people steal another person's gift or when a person has selected a gift, making that clear. Access the gift list, so seeing what gifts are available to the group, invite people, see the time until the game or the exchange actually begins. And then we also want users to be able to see their spot in the queue, so whether they're the first person to be able to select a gift or the last. And then of course, be able to take other people's gifts if it's available to steal. And that was it for the intro to this project. And then I can go into some sketches that I've done.
Gived. That's Sam's contribution. It's give plus gift.
Gift.
I like it. We're creating new words here.
So on the screen, you can see some of my initial sketches, just some rough sketches of not necessarily being explicit of or just detailing every single UI element. Is more getting the gist of what each page facilitates. So have a sign-up screen, and then have a way for a user to input their email, password, some information around the requirements for a valid password. And then I was thinking in terms of joining the group, there could be this key mechanism. So each user gets a specific key for a group, and then they can input that key and go to that specific group. As a way to just allow users to invite. So a user sends out an invite, a person receives a text that features this code, and then they could sign up through the app and input the code and join the group.
And so we're saying that this is from the perspective of someone that's been invited to a white elephant group.
Yeah.
So this is not the initiator, right?
No, this is for someone that's been invited to the group in this flow. They have received an invite to a group, and so they're joining from this invite.
Sweet.
And then add some information about themselves, add a photo, or maybe just have a generic color representing who they are, their phone, email. This might be redundant if they've already put it here. And then some other introductory information. And then have some screens for if you selected a color as opposed to a photo, you can have like this pop-up menu with colors available to select. Enabling location, like we discussed earlier, maybe the gifts are tailored for specific geographic locations. And then once they come into the group, they see this like welcome message overlaid the group chat area, and it features what number in the queue they have. And then it is some initial iterations of what the group chat could look like. So here you can see that sort of being able to see the activity in the group. So Malcolm stole some sort of gift, and maybe you have photos, or maybe Malcolm posted a GIF taunting the rest of the people that he stole someone's gift, and then see other sort of activity messages within this, and then maybe a popover that explains you can invite other users to this group to participate. And then was also thinking of allowing users to submit their own gifts, but I think it might be more interesting if the app just had specific gifts outlined, and then a user just puts in how much money they're willing to contribute to the group, and then the app creates a list of available gifts.
Available gifts, right? Yeah. And it could be like based on location and all that stuff, but like the idea of like a marketplace that is random.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Like that concept for me like feels like it could be like an add-on to another company's like what if it's an Etsy thing, right? Like what if Etsy had some sort of like white elephant type of experience that only was around Christmas.
Yeah.
And like just like generated sales for random people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's because you set a parameter of like what is your limit for this white elephant.
Right.
Right. Because like that's something that you can adjust. Right. It could be $50 versus $100.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that your group agrees upon. Right.
Exactly. Like Etsy could have invite to a collection or something like that, or a wish list, and invite other people.
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that like when you're doing these like mock experience apps is like you can even think about tying them to an existing service to like design on top of an existing design. We're not going to do any of that. Like we're not going to adopt Etsy's brand or anything like that. It's just an idea of thinking like what if. Like I like those what if questions.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I think we have a solid starting point. Then from here, this is pretty much like the last point until we're trying to figure out like what the products look like. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that we're gonna be drawing and looking at later.
Yeah.
Right. Not yet. Right. And until we get to that point, probably. Right.
Okay.
Or
yeah, we can
jump.
We can jump in and do some initial designs. Let's figure out the name.
Yeah, let's get the name going.
Let's get a brand.
And as a reminder, as you're giving us like some new names that I think there's really some great ones in there already. We have our chat and win in 8 minutes, so if you want to log in, if you haven't logged in, go ahead and do that, and we'll get you some cool stuff. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because it's a mystery. You can't give it back though.
Okay, let's go through the chat and see what we have.
So we had gived.
Gived.
Yeah. So let's write these guys down because maybe we could like have a poll later and see what people think. Gived. And then we have what's the next one? Gift with like lift.
I like that.
Okay. What else you got? E-gift?
E-gift?
E-gifts, okay. We have gift using the acronym here. GIF gift. When someone joins a group, there should be a notification that says an elephant has entered the room. Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. Bringing more of these like jokes into it is gonna have to.
Because it should be a fun app. It should be like a fun experience, and I really like that idea.
Yeah, I love it. And then, so like your idea for a name was what?
My idea for a name was Gimme. G-I-M-M-E.
Gimme. So
just got like the aspect of taking people's gifts.
Yeah.
I think that's like the controversial but fun part of white elephant parties.
I think it's traditionally a white elephant, not any elephant, right? I don't know, and I don't know why it's called white elephant. Like I've never looked into it.
There's also other names for this
thing
too, as well as white elephant. I forgot. There are like two other
just
really
like
common
like
names.
Gift exchange, like that's the general one. Gift trunk.
Gift trunk. I like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a little tally on these later. Gift runk. Gift trunk. Okay. Mine was like simple. It was like white elephant. Gift.
We gift.
I don't know. And yours was which one was it again?
It was Gimme. You have.
It was Gimme. Okay, I put Gimme.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sam is calling out how many G names we have.
There's a lot of G names. I know. We're getting very in the weeds on G's. So yeah, we'll decide on one of these later. It's like I said, it's not like a big deal, but it's just it's always fun to come up with names. And then we have some ideas that we're gonna flirt with, like being able to compose this together. Did you share a design system document with me? Did I have that one?
So.
We're doing some co-editing.
Yeah.
And but in kind of like respect to like the original version of co-editing, I'm going to be creating a design system that you are going to then be able to like consume when we link these assets.
Yeah.
So should I just create a new doc?
Yeah, create a new doc. Okay. I did.
So if you haven't done this, I think it's always just a really good refresher to do, because if you're working with a team and you're not necessarily doing the live collaboration co-editing, this is like the OG way to co-edit and collaborate, is to basically just create like a design system doc that's separate from the design doc that's being worked on. So this is a elephant. What are we calling this? Whatever. Adobe Live gift system. And so you have to save it to Cloud Docs, so that's important. And then I'm going to share this with Mustafa.
Yep.
So people are going to know your email, so sorry about that. Oh wait, it's Tajuddin, right?
Yeah.
Did you get your name fixed on Behance? No?
Yeah, I did get it fixed. I was...
Okay, so I shared it with you.
Yeah.
And then if we hop over to Mustafa's screen,
I can see that Julian has shared this doc with me to edit, so I can open it. And I see that Eric in the chat said that he stole the television gift.
Oh, you stole it.
So he took that from someone else.
And question, how many steals were permitted in your White Elephant group?
Yeah. In the party that I went to, it was only 2 steals per gift.
Per gift. That's a lot. I feel like one is, for me, like, I mean, depending on how many people are in your group. Okay, so now that Mustafa has the document, go to your original document, the one that you're actually designing in. That one's gonna be probably on, where you go? Here you go. So he's gonna go into his assets and link into the shared with you. There it is. And so that's it. So I created the document on my computer, and Mustafa then was able to ingest that. So what I'll be doing is creating some documents or some like patterns in my system and then sending them to you. So he's gonna basically make requests at me, and I'm just gonna be your product producer.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the plan. So yeah, let's jump into some deciding on a name.
Yeah. So we're just gonna stick to these
2 steals in Eric's group.
Okay.
So we can make sure to modify that, right? That's gonna be an option. Modify steals or rules. Maybe we could figure it out.
Do you think it should be?
Or is it like a default, like 1 steal, or default 2 steals?
Let's do default 2 steals.
Okay, so we're not gonna be able to you're not gonna build a system for you to edit the rules, right?
That'll be 2.0. So this is MVP.
This is MVP. Yeah, this is MVP.
The minimum viable product. So from these names that we have, what do you think? The chat has contributed. We have gift, we have e-gift, gimme, gift trunk, and we gift.
Yeah, so if we can get a consensus on these names, that would be amazing. So we'll let you kind of work on that, and in a minute we have the chat and win. And so I'm really like anxious to start designing. So let's think about, for me, I think we just need to design some call to actions and some things like that, right? Some basic stuff. So I'm gonna actually change the size of this, and I'm just gonna call this design doc, system. And so my first idea is to know that we're designing oh yeah, what are we designing for? We're designing for mobile.
Yeah, designing for mobile.
For sure. And then in terms of the size, let's just go big boy.
Yeah,
right?
let's go for
Max. I mean, I don't have one of those.
Me either.
Let's just go for the standard iPhone Pro. And so we know that for me, this is the way I like to work for when I'm designing systems. Like I know what the sketches kind of look like. Gift trunk is going there. Gimme. Oh look, we're all over the place. So if you get some more contributors, and go ahead and chat say some stuff. Give us some answers to this question of like which name should we use?
Yeah, which name should we choose, guys?
Vote, please. That's going to be your contribution to Chat and Win.
Yeah.
And once you, we have Gift. See, Voodoo Val is contributing. Who hasn't? Bohana, I know you're out there. Which one do you like?
Eric,
Gift
where's
Trunk. I think I like Gift with a Y, but I like this Gift Trunk.
Gift
It's
Trunk?
growing on me, because it's the elephant.
Oh, I did not make that connection until now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? There's
I
a
like
lot
that.
of and it's a trunk like a trunk of gifts.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I was thinking.
like Trunk Club.
Yeah.
Right? I think that one goes. I don't know. I'm
Hey Julian, say we're gonna be right back. We gotta do Chat and Win here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're doing Chat and Win, so I can't wait to see what you guys choose. Because I think we're just gonna count the tally and decide.
Yeah, let's do that.
I can go for any of them, but I really like Gift Trunk. Gift is great because it's 4 letters.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of short, concise names.
I know.
But
G Trunk?
G Trunk.
I don't know. I don't want to give it. I don't want to throw another variable in there. I think Gimme is going in there. And I didn't tell you what you're going to win, but Jonathan Anderson, and is this a cousin of Sam? I don't know. Jonathan Anderson, you are the winner of Sticker Mule. Look at that. You get stickers from
Awesome.
Sticker Mule. And if you didn't win, don't fret, because you can go on to stickermule.com/Adobe Live 19, and you can get 10 stickers for $1. So those are 3x3 die cut stickers, and really just a cool deal for you to have. Maybe we should take advantage of some of those and get some stickers. I'm very selective with my stickers, and I'm waiting for some good ones. So congratulations again, Mr. Anderson.
But not Sam.
But not Sam. and for that, you're gonna get an email, I believe, a notification from somebody from our team, and we'll get you set up for, not related, for that gift. So, in the spirit of gifting, I'm gonna be gifting you some assets. So
that was a nice
you like
segue.
that? All right. So I know that I have some of your sketches too, so I can. Let's see. I'm just gonna, so I know what to work with.
Yeah, I was thinking of, and this is definitely a UI question or constant UI debate of fully round corners or rounded corners, but more of a rectangle shape. What are you more of a fan of these days?
Well, as like you, I was in the Adobe design system, for a little bit. And like Alexis is here.
Alexis, awesome.
So yeah, I really like rounded buttons right now, like fully rounded buttons.
Okay.
They, for me, seem like buttons. They seem like they're more fitting that mold of buttons. But I do feel like, dependent on the product, you could introduce like a what do they call it? A squircle? No, a square circle.
Square circle.
So like semi-rounded corners, like a 4-pixel round.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out some options.
Okay.
And we'll figure out what's the best way to think about buttons. So I know that our first button here is sign up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna sign up here and create that. And I am also an advocate of not capitalizing your text in buttons. That's not my thing. If it's yours, cool.
Interesting.
But it's not mine. All right, so this is just everyday stuff here. So we have our circle kind of squarish, rectangle square with the curves on. We could do that, with that, right? That's what you're talking about, or just straight up like that. I'm just gonna do it like this.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna just go ahead and make this a component now. Command K. And the size of this text is 20, and I think I'm okay with that because we're gonna be designing for like this size screen, and that looks like a pretty good CTA. Now, if you think about like pixels on top and bottom, I'm not sure how familiar you are with XD, so this is just like speaking to everybody here. You want to pay attention to when you hold Command and Option while you have your component selected, so you can see your measurements. This right here, 1716, is fine because you've noticed that you always need to shift your text up one or one usually down to make it in the center. I don't know if you've noticed that. So look, that's our first one. So then I'm also going to just call it right now. We're just going to do a gray fill. And we have our first button. Default button, maybe. And then we're going to get into some states too. So these are going to all have states. So like squirrel Pokemon. Okay. So then there's also like I do like this square, like fully squared button. And so I'm going to detach this from a component actually, ungroup, because we can make a new one. So this is like a square option, and I think like just going like full square isn't ideal, but like going to like a four corner like that. We'll try that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
rectangle.
The more rectangular buttons.
I also like this idea of like visualizing what is going to happen with the next state. So if we're thinking like maybe this initial state, or what is our brand colors?
Yeah, and I think that also ties into what name we choose.
Okay, so we're going to choose a name now. Let's do it. What do you? I'm going to give you the honors. You saw what people were saying. Okay. You can go with your own.
Just go with my own.
It's all you.
I saw a lot of gift with the Y.
Remember, gift trunk's in there.
Yeah. All right. So take that one out. I'll take mine out too, and then these are like the top three, I think. And from there, this is hard. I really like gift, but I also am like, there is definitely the association with lift.
I know. They ruined a word that is fake.
maybe it's gift trunk.
Oh, mashup.
Yeah.
Let's do gift trunk.
Do gift trunk?
What do y'all think? No trunk? No trunk.
Someone said no trunk?
Someone said, Victor says no trunk, but he's one of many.
That's true. Okay, if someone else says no trunk, then we won't do trunk.
My trunk.
Someone said my trunk.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna go with gift trunk.
Gift trunk. Yeah.
Let's do it.
If we had confetti, it would be falling.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does gift trunk say to you as far as the color?
This is a totally
subjective
designer thing, but gift trunk. What color?
Yes, Alexis with a shout out. Follow me on Spotify. Listen to my stuff. Yeah, it's very subjective. You could go like, because I feel like now we have this gift with a Y, we're gonna go towards lift colors. I feel like it happened, like I automatically had this pink up here and it should.
That is true. I was actually thinking green.
Let's do green. Let's see. Like what kind of green? Because we're gonna define that with our primary.
Yeah.
Like more muted kind of.
Holiday? I don't know. I think should it be saturated and bold, or should it be more subtle?
Yeah, I'm going. Oh, and then fonts. We're not going to really worry too much about those.
Yeah, fonts is.
There's a whole lot to consider, right?
Yeah.
So we're going Helvetica. It's okay. It's accessible.
Yeah.
Definitely white and green. Okay.
Oh, people like white and green?
Yeah, let's go white and green.
Okay.
Let's do it. At least Sam does. All right, and I like, okay, so like we have this second option, and let's see, if I copy, paste. This is like, you can't do that.
Okay. Are you trying to inherit the color?
It's okay.
I was like the eyedropper. So.
Yeah, I was trying to get fancy, but sometimes when you get fancy, it doesn't work. So I think that we're sticking with this color. So we have two different options for buttons. And then let's think about like just doing states for now. Like what's the state of this? And like when you press it and hover, it's not, so we don't have to worry about hovering, right? Because we don't have hover states on mobile. Do we need to worry about a state? Like a pressed state? We don't think we need to on buttons, do we?
It's kind of, yeah, on that
There's not enough time.
It's more
Desktop.
web.
Yeah, so we're not worrying about it. Cool. So we have our buttons here, and we'll see how they look, and if we need to modify them, we can. What else do we got here? We have welcome sign up. So I think what we're gonna be doing is also, these are now in yours, so if you wanna like start building your screens, we have the option to do that at the same time. The idea is we want to like be able to like have the kind of like skipping wireframes right now and going straight into like design since I'm here, and I'll update these components, that way they can kind of like work in hand. To designing with plugins is like a big portion of this segment, and throwing some like generic images in there. So there's, for me, like one that I really like is, I like Undraw. Yeah, do you have that plugin?
Yeah, I do have it downloaded.
Okay, so that would be a good one to find for like the default image on your front, right? So yeah, we're going circle. Let's do it. Oh, look at that, side by side. There's a difference in color, interesting.
Yeah, there's a difference.
So yeah.
So let's see, we're going with green.
And remember, we can always change these colors, right? Because they're vectors, the Undraw images.
Nice.
So let's search for like a theme. So like welcome.
I like this one. This is
That
like,
one's too funny. Like, hey.
this is like too eager. Gift trunk. Let's keep that in mind.
Yes.
Gift trunk.
That one, the one with carrying something, looks like he's carrying a TV.
This one?
I don't know. Or the begin chat. Oh, that's a good one for the chat. So we're gonna be using Undraw as a way to kind of have some illustrative elements throughout our experience.
Yeah, that's the really cool thing about XD is they have these plugins that you can use to speed up your designs.
So yeah, go ahead and
Let's see.
I'm designing some more stuff as we go.
Okay, just looking for an illustration that makes sense for gift trunk.
Look at that, you're already referring to our startup.
Yeah. Okay, let's go for sunlight.
Got it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's do. Oh, it came out huge. Let me just bring that down. I'm holding Shift and Option to scale proportionally. So you have gift trunk. Like where this is going. I think I'll take out the trees just because it kind of looks like every time you make a change.
Yeah.
You know,
We're probably on something's going on with our internet. So yeah, our co-editing is happening, but it's also happening in a weird way.
Yeah, which is fine. So let's get rid of this because don't really need that.
And just as a reminder, anybody that has just logged in and joined us on Adobe Live, XD version of Adobe Live today with Mustafaa Tajuddin,
Yes.
experienced designer here at Adobe. And we are designing a white elephant gift-giving app. And the idea is to use metaphor to bring a in real life experience to a mobile experience. So that way you can enjoy the same type of experience you do, but with your phone. So you can simulate the idea of giving gifts and having fun with people remotely. And to kind of take it just away from like your messages in your chat and your Facebook groups, like let's do its own thing. And then there's some really fun interactive ideas that we have for this as we go along. And anybody that has any like favorite rules that they like to use in White Elephant, please share them. If you have any stories, we'd love to hear your White Elephant stories, because I think that's part of the fun part is like being part of a group that really like embraces the, I don't know, like the feeling you get of like a random gift, like
Yeah.
and being able to like just like steal a gift.
It's amazing.
It's weird, but it's great. So yeah, we're also going to be using a bunch of different plugins for this. And right now, this is our first idea of what we're going to be using when you first log in. And then I'm working on design systems to then feed some components over to Mustafa, slowly but surely. Also, we have a design feedback in 43 minutes. So if you have submitted designs to if you have designed some elements for the design challenge, we want you to please submit those to our Discord channel. That way we can get them reviewed for you and give you some feedback on what you've done. So we're looking at a variety of things that Sam has graciously presented us in the design challenge for this week. It's a short week, so bring your all, and that way you can get your stuff looked at too. So that's gonna happen in 42 minutes. And if you're not sure how to get there to see some of the designs, if you're just curious, go to the challenge tab on top of your chat and you can see all those. And if you are new to Adobe Live, log into the chat and say hi. And if you have any questions about being a designer or anything else about XD, just let us know and we're happy to answer. That's part of the whole idea here, is like to bring knowledge and share knowledge. So yeah, he's going wild on the green. I like that. And I'm just kind of making some form fields. Let's see. Form fields. It'll give you some options as well, so that way you're not feeling like you're limited by that. Let's see. I like to go on my form fields like a slight border.
Yeah, I'm just playing around with some few different color options.
Yeah, I'm telling you, colors for me has always been like just a kind of a strange thing, because I've never been like really conscious of colors. They kind of just happen. But yeah, I maybe there is a Christmas green. I don't know. But yeah, that's the idea, right? Is like to kind of like bring that feeling of Christmas into it. But maybe not. Maybe it's just about gifts. Yeah. So I'm doing my my form fields here, so that you have like an option. All right. So go repeat grid. Let's see. What size is this? High. It's 36 high. Let's drop in some text in there. Okay. And we are just jamming away here, both of us. Let's go.
Okay, I think I'll create a like sub title. Do like half.
Okay. 16, 7, 6. Perfect. So we're gonna use mostly form fields. And we'll get, that's one option for you. And then the idea for this is like default text. And this is gonna be like a default state for a form field. And then I'm gonna add on this form field the ability to have a alternate state, which is like an active state, right? So we're gonna go to component and make this a component. And then, so there's definitely a difference between like a default state and like an active state. So like when you enter text versus not entering text. So using the state components, you're gonna be able to have your own, your different version of it within your one form field. So like, let's do active. And if you haven't done this, please follow along, or you can refer to this later. And now that I'm on the active state, I can just kind of change this into whatever I want. So maybe the outline stays the same, and then the text changes to like darker. Dark. What colors are we using? Is that right? The green I chose?
I think maybe. Are we working on the same document? Oh, yeah, we're working on the same.
Did we kind of make an adjustment on your side?
I think I can make an adjustment, but let me see.
Yeah, and the idea of like a color is like we can always change it, right? Later,
Yeah.
or you want to start? We're designing like straight up. Like, oh, Alexis had an idea, using random.org colors to generate colors.
Is that a plugin?
It's just a website.
Oh. Oh, right, yeah.
Maybe that's a
It's
good
gonna
idea
create
to
a
try.
color scheme.
Yeah, let's try that. Random.
Awesome, thanks, Alexis.
.org/colors. Hex. Generate color. This is very random.
Yeah.
That's a little too green.
Yeah.
I think we can get random pretty quickly. Copied that. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. And then, so now that I have these form fields kind of, oh, we got some more options here. What do you think? Group component. Except, oh my goodness. Let's try this again. So once I've got the button chose, like what's on your end, on your screens that you'd lead us to next. I think this is good to start with. Let's just go with it. And then maybe close that document.
This one?
Yeah. And then just everything will be here for you. That way you stop getting that message.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can go with other colors. But let's try to stick with this one for now, and I'll make another one just off that. Yeah, what's the next page in your experience?
So the next page is more specifically the email and the password input.
Okay.
So we can do that.
So I have given you, and I'm gonna do you a huge favor and name these. So these are gonna be form fields. So you have a form field,
Awesome.
and I'm defining, right now, I'm defining your active state versus your default text versus your selected states. And that is going to be just basically changing the font color. Oh wait, that's not what I want to do. There's that. Yeah. this one. Okay, so I'm giving you another option of form fields here. We're side by side now. Okay. So then instead of this one, maybe a line, just like a line version.
Oh yeah.
See?
To just show where it is.
Yeah. Okay. You want to do, you have two options then. What do you think? So if you should be able to go into your assets panel and is it allowing you to update them?
Yeah, I think I did. What was the name?
Oh, go to form field, search form field. Did not update. Let me see, is it linked?
Yeah.
Go all the way to the bottom. No. Text field. Just use that. It didn't.
It's kind of close to what.
It is almost exactly, but not exactly the same. Let me go to your document and see why. There's no updating of them? CC libraries. Okay. All right. Well, looks like the internet is not cooperating with our abilities to update our design system. That's really strange. So we're gonna work around that, and I'm just gonna like work on the same document as you.
Okay.
And we're gonna see the update every once in a while, but that's okay. We have to keep the show going.
Yes.
Okay. So let me close that. Copy these. Open the document. Okay, so we're gonna have all of this stuff that you've hopefully done on my page here. So we can go over to Mustafa's screen. He has most of the documents there for us. Yeah, and I have them too. Cool. So our next idea is, so I think that the login is pretty straightforward. What we want to be able to do then is get into some more of the app experience pretty soon, but like it is pretty important to like have this onboarding part. So that's kind of like, this is why this is pretty important too. Let's see. And this document that you have already linked to this, do you have that one you can share with me?
Which document?
So this is, looks like there's a something linked already.
Oh, that's just the. So if you go to File, get UI kits.
Oh, this is your Apple and material.
Yeah.
You're using
Apple
just,
iOS.
Just Apple iOS. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really weird that mine isn't showing up. It's okay. Because I want to help. All right.
So here we sort of just have the outline for the sign up page, and then this was a great component for sign up, but maybe we can extend this. So overriding the properties to create another instance, which is really cool. In XD, you have components, and then you're able to override values without messing up the parent.
Right, so you can, anything that is stemmed off of the parent, you can then have those same attributes applied to the
Right.
children, whatever you want to call them. You call them children?
I've heard various things. I guess children will be appropriate if you say parent.
I guess so, right? It gets tricky though.
So, in the sketch, I have this this next arrow thing, which I'm a little ahead because in the sketch it just has join with email.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep working on this other design system thing, so that way we have assets.
Yes.
Do you have a key? Oh yeah. So your font that you're using on the is still Helvetica, right? The green one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, Helvetica.
All right.
And then we have the key page. We have a page for introducing themselves, selecting a color, confirming their phone number.
Oh yeah, the phone number. They might not need to re-enter their email though, or
Agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
they shouldn't.
Jasmine hooked us up with a palette. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see if it's if I can get it.
That's pretty awesome. And then the welcome. So the sign up part, like Julian has said before, it's pretty straightforward. I think we all know sign up. So maybe we can skip through that
Yeah.
in terms of
and-
what we're designing on air, and then show more of our
The-
brainstorming process on the screen. And
Yeah, let's do that.
but Jasmine shared.
We'll get the colors in later. I think that's the other thing too, is like sometimes you can get caught up on those little details and it kind of can
Yeah.
get in the way. So let's
Let's stick to
the
problem solving
problem-solving part.
laying out elements.
Yeah, because we have to pivot since the collaboration thing looks like our internet is interfering with that possibility. So we'll have to adjust to it and just do the brainstorming.
Yeah.
So if we're thinking about like the onboarding needing to include just some basics of like receiving an invitation and like confirming that you're in this group. And then you said this idea of introducing yourself,
Yeah.
and that's like choosing a profile picture?
Yeah, choosing a profile picture or just a color to be your Abby
Okay.
profile.
I think that's pretty integral to the experience, especially this idea of choose your color, because I feel that there are wrong ways you can actually go about like choosing like avatars, especially like I've seen places like ask for like gender,
Yeah.
which is like we're not trying to do any of that. It's pretty just like open.
Yeah.
So I think color is really a great idea. Also like there's really ways like I really love the way GitHub like handles avatars, where you can like pick like these like pixelated like little characters to represent you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, you can also like think about like an emoji. Like you can maybe use your own emoji. Like there's like I have mine. Everyone like and emojis are specific to iOS. But yeah, so like I think like doing something like that, like a little screen, that could be really an important one to do.
Okay.
Also, like the confirm your number, we could probably maybe leave that one out for now.
Yeah. So do you want to Do you want to jump into the introduce yourself screen?
Yeah, let's jump into the introduce yourself screen.
Okay. Let's do that. So I think our decision is going to be to do some of these on air that we think will be helpful and showcase some relevant features to everyone in the chat and everyone watching, and then off air we'll do some tweaks and some edits to the other parts to create a flow for us to review tomorrow. Well, let's do introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Okay. So what does the sketch have? The sketch has a title, subtitle, and then 2 buttons. So I'll just steal that from here because it'll be pretty much the same. And if we didn't have so many things in the asset panel, I would just create a symbol for this text style, but
yeah, it can get kind of crowded there, huh?
yeah.
Which
is being changed, but
oh, is this a little nugget of information?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
definitely working on how we can better organize this.
Yeah, I do really love the assets panel as a way to save your work.
Yeah,
content.
It's super convenient.
It is. The thing is, for me, sometimes it's really small, and it's hard for me to like really see like a component, especially if it's not named. And that's like the importance of, I think, naming your naming convention. It's gonna help you in the long run when you start to prototype stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But not giving a name could be kind of like you get lost in the mist of all this stuff.
And so I think actually this button could still work for this screen in terms of the other buttons. Just make some overrides. I think it might be a bit too big to have in line with another button. Yeah, too big. So maybe decrease the width to maybe 84. There we go, that's better.
Okay. Looks like I got that color palette, so let's check it out. I think our system was working because I did see it update your colors earlier.
Yeah, it would update.
You couldn't find them, so let's.
Yeah, it was the finding part.
Because I'm still gonna define the design system with this. I'm gonna stick with
Okay.
my plan. Okay, that way we're still sticking to the track of me doing something. Because I feel like one of the cool parts about like this show, particularly, is like being able to inevitably like design together,
Yeah.
right? Instead of just like me, the host, like watching you design.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here. I think I can design.
You have some skills.
I can do some stuff. So it's really cool to be able to collaborate, and that's why our plan today was to do that. So I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm just gonna keep going on this design system, even though it's slow to update sometimes. But this is the color palette that we got from, who sent this to us? Jasmine.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So then, since your document has a lot of stuff in it, so I'm not going to add each color, but we will be able to incorporate these across the experience.
Okay, sounds good.
I think maybe making something a little, this green is, we'll see. Maybe the red is going to work for this. We'll figure it out. And then we have the text there. What else we got? All text. Oh, we have this different button, so let me design that. Are we doing the, you like the circle buttons, right?
Yeah, the circle buttons are cool.
And you're using like these pill things also for the those default states?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're taking away from my work, man.
Okay.
So ungroup, so I'm gonna do a, like a next with the arrow. Maybe this will be not so bold. Maybe it'll be like a 2-inch border, like a secondary button.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
The secondary buttons are cool. And then we just do like a little arrow. Someone's doing some work. That wasn't me.
It was
Wasn't me.
Just in case you're curious. Ooh. I don't know if you can hear that. We apologize in advance.
Yeah.
No, they can hear it.
Okay. That is neither Mustafa or I.
Yes.
Studio noise.
Studio noise. Okay. Well, you came together on the arrow through through the distraction. So.
Yeah, that was skills. Okay, so that was just a simple arrow. That took too long. All right. So.
Oh, you did feelings as opposed to.
Oh, I did. Okay. It's a little small.
Yeah. I think you can scale it.
Yeah. Okay. 2. Okay, so we have an arrow and we have a button. So now we can add that to your other options.
Nice.
What else we got to design? And this is like a really abstract way of designing, just like kind of designing pieces and then giving them to you.
Yeah, fortunately, we did some initial sketches that informed how these elements play together. I think in practice, I usually do the opposite approach. So
Right.
begin in context and then see how the elements relate to each other, and then decide whether it's something that could live on as a scalable part of the system.
Right. And since we are doing this together and one person's designing the system, hopefully we're avoiding the trap of like multiple or overlapping design.
Yeah.
And so that is kind of like the main reason why design systems are super important for teams to be able to unify and use one style.
Yeah.
And that way we're not recreating patterns that are already created.
Yeah.
But we have a unique experience here to do it together. Choose your color. So if I have that, and so like you're saying like thinking a message like is choose your color, and then something like identify yourself with your favorite. Choose your favorite to identify yourself, something like that.
Yeah.
Choose a color that that you identify with? No, I think that's a little too direct.
So I actually have those buttons here. They just aren't.
Oh, okay. What about this one?
Oh yeah, so that was an overlay. So the idea was once you select,
it comes in or something.
yeah, and that's what you're designing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm just doing that one. What else? Where else on the floor are you?
I'm still on, and I'm just on this page. So you're designing this step after this page, the page that I'm.
Yeah, or at least that little component, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm
so,
kind of like designing more components and pages.
Yeah, yeah. So when it comes to that, each one is a circle,
Yeah.
and I think it's a row of 4.
Okay.
So probably could use repeat grid.
Let's do it. And these are circles, right?
Yeah, circles.
I love doing. I usually do squares. If anybody has any other thoughts on that, like my personal preference is to do squares and then turn them to circles, just because.
As opposed to just starting with
Squares or starting with circles?
Starting with circles.
Well, because like circles can be turned in, squares can be turned into circles.
Oh, so you want to give yourself that flexibility?
Yeah, yeah, but circles can't be turned into squares. Is that true?
I don't think so.
Right? Am I? Did I make sense?
I mean, it's definitely a thing.
I mean, how many people are allowed to be in a white elephant?
That was. I don't have any initial thoughts on that.
I feel like
we can decide.
Yeah, I feel like there should be a cap. Because it could take forever.
You're the white elephant gift giving with
They could-
200 people.
Like yeah, even 20. 20 people with 2 steals, that could take a long time.
Yeah, but I feel like 20 people is a nice.
All right. Squares to circles.
I don't know. I mean, you're right. Especially if it's on your phone, you have to just sit there through 20.
Yeah, but I think that's a really good like design constraint to work with. Is like, okay, we have 20 maximum.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's like, cause like what like, also like these colors, do they come in when you decide how many people are like? Do you know how many like? Is this an indicator of how many people are in this group?
No, I think the colors are independent.
Okay.
Would be independent of the number of people.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm thinking this is pretty standard. These circles are about 48. Let's do 50 pixels. All right, and then they're still going to be completely round.
Yeah, this would give them some more
Space here.
Yeah. Space there.
20. That's it. There you go. All right, so then we'll be able to have
Awesome.
that, and this is going to be the, which component is the like choose color. All right, so I'm naming all these for you, and then we can also then go in this later, and like if we want to update them in your design, we can update them through this design system in the masters. So let's not fret over how perfect everything is. But as you can see, like what I'm doing, I'm just designing a bunch of different elements here. Oh yeah, I thought I did that one. This is secondary. Secondary button. We have our buttons. So let's do that. We have our. I'm not 100% on our color palette still. This is an option. I like this red, but like let's leave the colors kind of still open for discussion.
This is a really cool minty type of color
Oh yeah.
scheme.
And chat, I apologize if I'm ignoring you today, but we're also just live designing here, going crazy.
What is the chat saying? Let's make sure we don't miss anything.
Yeah, so 20 people I feel is not long enough. I don't know. That's my family's like 30 people and it takes quite a while, but we have a lot of, there's also the eggnog that's been passed around. But yeah, I think we can talk about the constraints on that later. And it's, then again, it's not really like the biggest deal in the world, but it's just something to nail down. Yeah, so just as a reminder, everybody that is interested in getting their designs reviewed for the Creative Challenge, you have 9 minutes and 30 seconds to submit your designs for today's feedback. And we're gonna be reviewing anything, I think, today that has been submitted today. So if you had submitted stuff yesterday, then I'm not gonna be reviewing that stuff. We're just gonna review today's submissions. And then tomorrow, the same, we'll review the submissions for that day. Just to kind of keep it honest here for like how much we can actually review, because there's quite a bit of stuff in there. And there's some really cool inspiration that we can also get when we take a break for that. So in 9 minutes, that's what we're gonna be doing. But we're still plugging away, designing with plugins here. We saw us using, as far as plugins, we used Undraw earlier, and we're gonna be using some other plugins later. And if you have or have not used Google Sheets plugin, that's my favorite plugin to show off. We're gonna be using that tomorrow, and some other like icon drop and other options. And if anybody has a like plugin that they like to use, by all means mention that.
Yeah.
We would love to know what plugins you're using. Even like if you have, if you haven't, I just really urge you to go. Is just to explore our plugins, because there's a ton of them out there, and they're only getting better. And the more people like realize like the potential of these plugins, then the better they can get.
Yeah.
Because for me, I stick to some that are just like within my toolkit. So I love the Behance one if I want to publish stuff. Icons is pretty simple and straightforward. There's more complex ones that I like to use, like Design Importer, Mimic for some like patterns. But yeah, it's really cool now that you can just kind of browse by category and like style. So just like would love to know what you're using out there as far as plugins are concerned. So yeah, if you want to see one demoed, just let us know and we'll demo that too. So I think we know that we're going to be using this green, at least, right?
Yeah, I think at this point.
So that green, I do like this minty green, so we can actually use that too. All right. One of my favorite features of XD that like I love is pasting appearance. So like it's such an easy thing. Like this one. Like it's just a circle. I mean, it's gonna be a circle. But like being able to like right click and paste appearance to like all those, if you haven't created a component out of them.
Yeah.
I just
super handy.
Yeah, it's just a really simple one that I like to point out a lot. I like this red, so we're gonna be using that. Maybe this can be our black. All right.
Yeah, I like that because you don't want to get too black. You want to get like really close.
Yeah, right? Like you don't go all the way.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you use like a dark purple or like a dark blue, that could be really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna stick with those 4 colors for right now. So components are slowly trickling in here, and this is gonna just make our life easier later. And I'll just like label these buttons. This is gonna be your primary. And I would say this is a good thing to do, even though you create all your asset panel, like if you set it up in your asset panel, like to be able to visualize it is also really cool to do, just for yourself, to keep yourself like in line with what you're designing.
Yeah.
What do you think? You agree with that?
I do.
Because then if you want to like publish it on like a Behance later, like this is pretty like, I would say like rough, but like you can make it prettier later. It's just a matter of documenting all your stuff.
Yeah.
So like form fields, like these are all elements, right, that we want to keep track of. And then what do you call this?
Yeah, I was trying to reference it earlier, but I was like, what should we
What did I call
this?
it? I called it choose color, color picker, right?
Yeah,
For now.
for now. Don't want to confuse it with the actual color picker,
True.
but it is a color picker for sure.
Oh, look, we got some plugins. Mimic, Simon Shakespeare. Love that plugin. I'll show it off in a sec. Undraw and Icon Drop. Yeah, those are pretty, like, for me, like some really commonly used ones. This a real plugin? Jeff Goldblum Lorem Ipsum plugin? I have to find that.
People love Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum is the man.
People love him.
Well, have you seen The Fly?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh,
I still haven't seen
it's
that
a
one.
gem.
It's a
Probably not the best holiday movie.
Definitely not.
What is your favorite holiday movie?
That's a good question. I think as probable as this may sound, or I really like Home Alone.
I love Home Alone.
Yeah, I really like Home Alone.
Wait, is that real? I'm not showing Jeff some.
I don't think that's. I don't know if that's an.
Oh, it's not real.
Yeah,
All right, well, I didn't read that right.
but maybe
but
that
there
could
is-
go in the back line.
But there is a Lorem Ipsum,
There's a little bit. So.
right? And if you I haven't really used it because I try not to use Lorem Ipsum as much as possible, but you can totally use it. So 3 minutes for the creative challenge. Let's jump over to your screen to see where we could plug in some of these assets that I've created,
Yeah. So.
if any.
Did some. I think there's still work to be done around the welcome sign up page, and then we have the actual sign up where they're able to input information. So I can overwrite this actually. And then password. And I'm thinking maybe the sign up and the introduce yourself can just be one page. Because I'm thinking or it could be two separate pages, but keep the username and phone a part of this flow since they're signing up.
Okay.
They probably should just input this information in one space.
And you want to do username or instead of first last name?
It could be both. It could be username and first and last name.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe there are too many text fields that look the same on this. First name.
That's okay.
Think so?
There's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of like sometimes uniformity is gonna be a good, idea to keep.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't ask me what my favorite holiday movie is.
I was going to. What is your favorite movie?
Die Hard.
Die Hard? What is the story behind that? Because I'm pretty sure that's true.
It takes place during Christmas. It's a debated. Is Gremlins a holiday movie, right? Like those two movies are kind of like in that gray area of holiday, right? I think like strictly holiday. Bad Santa.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one. It's
it's pretty gruesome.
yeah.
But it's fun.
And now that I'm thinking about it, when you say holiday movie, holidays are outside of just like Christmas time.
Yeah.
So now I'm like,
okay.
okay,
All
well,
right. speaking holiday more broadly.
Yeah,
like things
holiday.
like there's the Thanksgiving movies. Like,
Yeah,
those are get
really
bold.
good Thanksgiving movies. They usually have some drama around the family, though.
Like,
But,
and then there's Valentine's holiday. Like that. We're not. We're
yeah.
talking about Christmas.
okay, so
Excellent.
Christmas movies.
And we are here at the design feedback, and the countdown has come to an end. So we want to review your designs. So just to kind of give you a heads up or a reminder of what we're looking at today. Your host for the Creative Challenge is Sam, and he graciously put together really cool and inventive challenges. Usability is our first one, and then simplify, and then designing for hierarchy. And these are like really great tools of being a UX designer.
Yeah.
Just like understanding these ideas. So just to kind of hats off to Sam for creating these. So today we're most likely going to be looking at simplify. If you have finished hierarchy, we will look at that too. It's just sometimes it's not enough time for you to actually look at that. 'Cause he just finished like not too long ago. And design takes time if we haven't learned
So,
already. Okay. Where are we? Yesterday. Okay, so today. Let me just refresh to make sure. Today 10. Today 9. Okay, he reviewed this one. All right, so let's go to the 8:30. Oh, people are up early. Look at that. 6:05 a.m.
whoa.
3. Yeah, crazy. All right, the first one. Prashant. We got social wellness. Okay, so this is from the day 2 of a previous week, I believe. Was it? No, is this? This is. Let me see. Let me make sure. So day 2, design experience, friendships. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it is mental wellness. Okay. So we have a splash screen. Oh, puppies. Look at that. Using the Behance, maybe? I know, that's different. That's really cute.
So let's go through a little slower.
Yeah, let's go through it slower. Sorry. Design an experience for finding and building friendships. So let's go into like a splash screen. I really like that splash screen. I like the color overlays. What do you think about that one?
I really like that too. It's almost reminiscent of watercolor ink.
Yeah.
or painting.
Like, right.
Yeah.
The way it bleeds through.
Yeah.
Playing with opacity.
Yeah, the opacity.
And using these illustrations are really also great. Finding a large cell phone, iPhone like that would be pretty cool. Interactive boards. This is really cool. I actually really think that this could be like a cool pattern to maybe think for filtering GIFs. Something like that. So maybe like some ideas for us.
Yeah.
And I actually do like this like idea of like a select button, a call to action that has your profile on it or has an option on it. Selecting a pet like for the drop down, that's really cool.
Yeah, I like the usage of color I'm seeing for the buttons.
Good, yeah, right?
Yeah, it's unconventional in a really good way, and it's a fresh approach to handling these buttons.
Yeah. I really think this is good work. Like all the ideas that you have here are coming through, especially for like just like your way of laying out. So great job there. My only thing on this one is this card seems a little, I'm not sure. Just like maybe this needs to be like dropped to the bottom and like a pop up versus like this like card that doesn't have the square the roundness on the bottom.
Yeah, I think if it's gonna pop up, it could probably have all corners be rounded, or if it was to have the square at the bottom, it can be flush.
Yeah, and I really like the creativity you put into like even putting your name, like you're creative geek from San Francisco. I love that. Cards are great use of the cards.
Yeah.
I do think sometimes the drop shadow can get a little too much.
Yeah, a little more subtle.
Yeah, if you put it, like tone it down a little bit, I think it would work well, or not have it at all and just have it flat. That's an option too. But I really like the use of your cards here because like these ones don't have shadows but they are text fields, so definitely like different use case. Love your nav panel, and then just like putting in these like little context clues throughout is also really good just for like a case study like presentation. So great job. We're gonna move into the next submission. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, it's getting love. You're getting love there with that pet. Like even Sam gave you some feedback, so that one's getting some love. Looks like that's the only one I have, so let's go back. Gareth Johnson. So Super is a task management app that aims to reduce life stress by teaching good focus habits for high schoolers. So this was the creative challenge detailed this way of like picking out like choose your own adventure. And so I don't know if I have an example to show you, because I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so let's take a look at like the way that Sam presented these. Is we kind of had these, he kind of gave these ways of having your own how might we statement.
Oh, okay.
So you can like bring in these how might we's and to make the creative challenges a little bit more diverse in their approach. So in how might we encourage joyful outdoor activities for pet owners? And you can kind of just cycle those through. Really, really cool like way to like bring diversity into the ideas and the perspectives by just being random.
Yeah.
I think being random is like way underrated. Be random, people. So like this was someone's attempt, right? Like this is how it works. And how might we statements are not easy. And we know that.
Yeah.
We had to do those all through school while we were together.
Yeah.
Empower accessible anxiety management for high schoolers. And that's what we're reviewing right now. So like going from something so abstract as far as a statement to a design in like is great. I think that's amazing. So this looks really great. And I love the font choices that you chose. The color works really well.
I really like this pairing.
Right?
I actually
Blue.
would wear an outfit that had that color pairing.
I feel like that's how you design your apps
Yeah.
screens. Would I pair those together for an outfit?
Would I eat that as like food, like UI to food or UI to clothes?
UI to food, UI to clothes.
Yeah, that's a secret.
That is a secret. Now it's not. Now everybody knows. But it's a good secret. Hey everybody, so if you're joining the chat a little late, we're still here with Mustafa, and we're doing some design reviews, and we would love for you to submit tomorrow. There's still time for you to get in some of these designs from before that you might, unlock some creativity of inside of you that you want to do some usability stuff. But Sam's also dropping his next creative challenge tomorrow. So join him tomorrow and create some designs and have fun and be random, right? That's the theme.
That's the life.
Be random.
Life goal.
And then you can take part in his creative challenges and get us some time for us to talk about your stuff. So definitely do that. Also, just as like promoting myself out there, I posted something new on Behance, so designing accessibility best practices. I actually presented this before on the show, but I didn't link my PDF of it. So if you have time, check out my Behance.
Oh, this is awesome.
I left some little nuggets of principles for accessibility, edge case design, some like ideas for you to kind of wrap your head around checklist-wise for designing accessibly. For teams that keep this in mind, it might be helpful. Also, just some references for you to have. And then the episode that I was on with Howard Pinsky. Just a self-plug, but it's also just really good to keep your accessibility hat on.
Yeah, especially as apps become more and more common and important for people to engage in modern society, I think it's important to remember accessibility
Yeah.
in our designs.
Yeah, and it's something that is, as designers, I believe it is our responsibility to start this conversation of designing accessibly, because I think we are using a free tool like Adobe XD, and we're designing all these cool experiences with XD, but there needs to be some thought into like how are we including or discluding people from using these experiences. So I, if you want to, like, look at my Behance and take a look at that document. So, but
will.
back to our design. So I actually wanted to call something out that I like doing for my apps. I always, when I design any type of screen for mobile, I use like borders, just like these are like do not cross kind of things, right? One of my things is like sometimes going to the edge. I think you can go to the edge with like separators, but like with content and text, never go to the edge. Never ride the edge.
Yeah, agreed.
And I usually do like 20 pixels or something like that. Just depends on the project. Okay, so we got our design system that we're building here. What else do you want me to make? I have.
Let's go through the sketches.
Yeah.
We have peel buttons.
So we have this thing, and this.
Yeah.
As far as this, do you need this thing designed, or is it just a window?
So that's gonna be this part.
Okay, so
this is gonna be just darkened from the overlay.
okay, cool. So oh, gotcha. That's just coming up.
Yeah, that's just how I sketch, like
Sweet.
to signify that an overlay is occurring.
And then we have the button that's created, and then this is
Just some sort of graphic maybe to go along with asking for permissions to user's location.
and we can get that from Undraw too.
Yeah, probably.
All right, and then there's going to be a point where we're going to create a this next page after this happens is when you see your place in this gift giving experience, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me design like some back buttons and some close buttons and some user. Looks like that's a user button.
Yeah, like an invite.
Invite button. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me just start rocking and rolling on those, and then we're gonna have a product, some products that you can like see, but after they're chosen, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be working with some of those designs, and we had something that you were drawing over here. Is it time to?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's dive into some sketches.
Really quick, like this is it's really cool that we can do this.
Yeah.
Just meta designing.
Right. So here we have, we were talking earlier about allowing a user to go into this gift repository where they can select gifts. And you had a really good idea of having or continuing that anonymous gift giving aspect of White Elephant within the digital space by hiding certain attributes and displaying others. Did you want to speak to?
Yeah. So the idea is for this. This thing is like your product that you can see, right? And like the idea is before you pick it, it's going to be covered with wrapping paper, right? So you have like candy cane, wrapping paper, and when you see a gift that's in this box that you can choose from, it's going to have a, what did we say, like dimensions of the box?
Yeah. I actually had it below.
Oh, below. Okay, sorry. So that would be what it, dimensions and the weight, right? And it's wrapped. So the idea of like this one is like you are in a White Elephant. Like you don't know what is in that box, but you can, if you're in a situation receiving a White Elephant, you at least know like the size and weight of a gift, which can be a determining factor of you choosing that gift or not, right? And then so once the gift has been unveiled, the idea is like we'll use like auto animate or something, a transition to reveal and pull back the wrapping paper so you can see the object, right? And that way you know you want to steal that or not.
Yeah, I see three main use cases. So one is a gift that is claimed by someone but is available to steal, which would be this sort of card here. You see the person that owns this item currently, but there still are either 2 or 1 remaining steals for this item that you could click, and then it will add that item to your account. And then you have these items which are unavailable to steal. Messy here already. And then you have this third option, which are oh, sorry, no, this isn't unavailable. This one is items that are unclaimed. And then this third one are unavailable items that have already been stolen twice before.
Right.
And
So
then this is available but claimed. Available.
yeah, so then what I could do as far as like, what would you recommend me do? So as a producer, if you're telling someone like, hey, on my design team, I want you to design something for me. I'm designing like a little product card or kind of, miniature card maybe.
Yeah.
And then has multiple states to it, or what do you think?
I think these probably have one, actually no, they probably have 2 states. So unselected state and a selected state.
Okay, cool.
And maybe it could be a check mark on the end
Okay.
that shows you selected this one, and then something comes up saying finish
Yeah.
or something, or confirm. So in the design system, there should be there should be 3 different options for the 3 main use cases of selecting, choosing, or stealing
Okay.
a gift.
Yeah, and so that's what I'll do. And Richard, for what I do for these borders, I just make a rectangle, and I just make it red, and then I put the opacity down. That's all I do. And then you can lock them, so that way you don't ever worry about going over them, but
Yeah.
you can still read them.
You could also drag in guides as well.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. I don't know, for me, like, it's something that I've been doing since like Illustrator,
Gotcha.
and it's just an old
Yeah.
behavior that I have.
I actually like it because it's not just a guide where it's a line and then you still can see that space.
Right.
It's like a blocked off portion with colors, so it's more apparent. But you can also do the more subtle approach of just dragging in from off the canvas
Right.
guides.
So I got gift title, but that's for the second state. That's when or the third state when it's revealed, right?
Yeah, the gift title is for when it's revealed and when it's available to steal.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me do the first one. So that would be this someone's. What is it called? What is this default like character or title for this thing? Is like or is it? It's this one, right?
Yeah. This
So
one.
it's just like new gift, and then you have the weight,
Mm-hmm.
and you have what is this? The dimensions.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was weird. And I feel like this is kind of playing off of metaphor, and the idea that when we're designing like these new novel experiences, they take on a form that is copying the real world,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
and like I think that could like in UI we've seen that a lot, where like skeuomorphism was like a way for us to understand
Yeah.
what a button was by making it look like a button, and like this is kind of like skeuomorphism still remains in these patterns, not necessarily look, but in the feel, right?
Yeah. And skeuomorphism was really important, especially at that time where people had no readily apparent precedent in their minds of what everything meant.
Yeah.
So that That's why you have things like folders, you know, because people understand, okay, well, I put paper into a folder, and so they brought that metaphor into software. So
Right, isn't that weird?
yeah.
Like humans are just like, we just like to recognize patterns.
Yeah, pattern matching is super important.
Oh, that's weird. There you go.
So right now we're creating the component for is the available, but the available GIFs within the GIF repository.
Yeah, so this is gonna be something, height.
So again, just to recap, so White Elephant, you have the option to either steal someone's gift, and you're able to, and once someone has selected a gift, then you're able to see what a gift is. But if you are choosing a gift and you don't steal someone else's gift, you have to run the risk of choosing a gift that you don't know.
Yes.
So we want to maintain that within the app.
Yeah, right. And then so this is like just like the product, and we'll be designing with data, and this is really important to kind of give you a sense of how to structure the sheet, and we'll show you that tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to be done, but it might seem like there's a lot more to be done, but we've designed most of these components.
Yeah.
And it's really like, after these components are made, it's basically Legos, right? And that's kind of like what design systems are all about, right? Is kind of building Legos.
Yeah.
We, like sometimes need instructions for like those complex Lego sets.
Yeah.
And since we're both here kind of making them as we go, these wireframes are our instructions. And so we'll be able to like build a Lego set tomorrow. That's a lot more,
Yeah.
We had no time to prepare for this. So we've done, I feel like we've done a lot in the matter of 2 hours, and then like before like 30 minutes just prepping for this.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be able to do a lot more tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we implemented a lot of the ideas, and we have the structure and the framework. I think we just need to go in and do some tweaks to the visual expression of the ideas we've already established.
Yeah.
So, going back through though, so Gift Trunk, I think it's shaping out to be a good name.
I like it. I mean, I think we can also come up with a logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could, maybe we could tomorrow, like while you're designing some stuff, I could like get that little thing and like draw some logos out, and we can come up with some ideas for logo.
Yeah. I think that will help. I think this as a word mark doesn't necessarily translate, but if you add it with a logo, then it's a much stronger brand.
Right, and we can probably get this image maybe.
Yeah, maybe we just actually don't have this.
It's not the best in the world, but it's okay. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, we have more for you tomorrow. More shows for you tomorrow aside from us. So come back tomorrow and log into Adobe Live's Behance chat so you can contribute to the conversation and ask questions. But also like just see some really inspiring designers and creators and makers. Sam has another creative challenge for you tomorrow, so make sure to check that out and take part in that. And thanks Voodoo Val for propping us up. Go check out our work. We are out for today, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited.